Meeting called to order. Today is Tuesday, October 21st. It is now 6:01 PM. Town Council acting as a sewer commission, 1170 Main Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Chair, will you lead us in prayer? We ask for the wisdom to make good decisions, to speak with confidence, and listen with compassion as we work together to create a better way of life for the people of West Warwick. Amen. Jason, will you pledge allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Council President Goslin.
Here.
Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
Councilman Messier.
Yeah.
Councilman Licciardi.
Here.
Councilman Denson. Here. Participating communities, Town of Coventry, Town of Situate, City of Cranston, City of Warwick, Town of West Greenwich. Quorum is declared. Minutes of previous meeting, approval of the minutes of the September 16th, 2025 Sewer Commission meeting.
Move approval of the minutes.
Move a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Reports, Superintendent's report.
Good evening, council. So superintendent report for September 2025. Our average flow was 4 million gallons per day. Our maximum was 9.8 million gallons and our minimum was 1.6 million gallons. For CBOD removal, we were at 2.3 milligrams, which is 99% removal. TSS, 98% removal at 3.4 milligrams. And total phos was under the limit at 0.08 milligrams per liter. Sludge is still going well. We sent 510 tons to the Epic company and nothing to the landfill. So like I said, going well there. Collection system. In the public line, there were 2 block-ups on Betez Street and Andrews Avenue. In the private lines, there was Wyman Street, Clyde Street, Bramble Lane, Phoenix Ave, and Cedar Drive. For the month of September, we had 7 odor complaints. 1 was in the Natick area, 1 was on Providence Street, 1 was on Green Hill Street, and then we had 4 on Fernwood Drive. Facility violations, we had an ammonia violation. We send a sample out once per week and it was slightly elevated just over the limit. So there was no root cause that we could determine at that time. The other 3 samples that we sent out for the rest of the month came in under. For our monthly average, we were under the limit. So for our purposes, it's just noted as a violation, but it's not a severe violation by DEM standards. If we went the whole month with having an ammonia issue every week, that would have been a more depth analysis to see what the root cause was.
Is that the cause of the odor complaints?
I do not believe so. We are looking into the root cause of the odor complaints because we have noticed in a different area than we normally do. I know, Josh, do you want to speak about odor complaints for a moment?
Sure. There you go, council. So basically, we narrowed down the area for the odor complaints to be over near the fishbowl area and the Water Street main line, 42-inch line. We narrowed down the odors to being in that 42-inch line, and we are exploring ways to mitigate the odor.
So that would take care of that Green Hill, obviously, that
Yes.
complaint. What about the complaint across the street?
It's most likely related.
It is.
Yeah, because I put odor loggers all throughout that entire area, above Providence Street and then below Providence Street where that area is. All the odors came from below.
Are they all coming in around the same time or are they spread out throughout the month?
So they peak at night and they go down to nothing during the day. And then they peak up at nights and then nothing down during the day. So it's
Would that be based on usage?
Usage, maybe.
Obviously
More than likely.
showers, night, kids,
more than.
taking care of their
Dishwashers,
kids or
whatever.
whatever,
Yeah.
dishwashers, yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
So we've narrowed down the area where it's originating, and now it's just we're coming up with the best solution, the quickest solution to take care of it.
So that was the area that we also found that there was some pipes that weren't connected. We were
Correct.
surprised.
There were
So-
some dead end lines there as
Right.
well.
So that might
Those were
have,
closed off. I did hang odor loggers in the abandoned lines and there was no odor issue in
Okay.
those lines.
in the abandoned lines, there was not, okay. All right.
So we have a real good idea where it's coming from.
The backups in the private lines, a lot of them. Unusual, and we have a Bethesda Street, we have Phoenix Ave, we have Clyde Street, they're all in sort of the same area.
Yeah, so it's tough to tell because private lines, the homeowners,
Yeah,
you know, some months we have nothing, some months we have 5, so it's just,
Yeah.
it's tough to tell from time to time. If we notice a block up in our public line in a regular spot, then we'll send out like a public service announcement to the whole neighborhood saying, hey, make sure you don't flush this stuff. Make sure you're not putting fats, oils, and greases down the lines to try and help our lines. So,
and I know you keep a log of where the backups are and where the order complaints are, so. I
Yes.
assume you take a look and see if there's any recurring themes.
and if we notice that there's, you know, there's 4 houses that had lockups and it wasn't us, we'll still go out there, inspect our line. We'll clean our line out if we have to, just as a precaution, just in case there was something that we couldn't detect or didn't detect at the time, but
Okay.
we try and mitigate it and take care of it as best we can.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Jeff? Thank you.
Thanks, council.
Industrial pre-treatment program report.
Good evening.
Jim.
Thank you. The industrial pretreatment for the month of September. Our significant industrial user, Famera, did submit their monthly report, their quarterly self-monitoring report, and their results were all in compliance. We did our annual inspections at Bradford Soaps and Warwick Ice Cream. We found 2 things of importance, that Bradford Soap has made a major change in their management and are now getting more regular in their production of their product and the wastewater volume. With regards to Warwick Ice Cream, there's pretty standard, the volume they discharge. We did find that their pH meter was malfunctioning. They made the correction and ordered a new pH meter. Because in that process, they have a very high pH and that impacts the performance of the plant. So we make sure, and they've been very good over the years. At the beginning, when pretreatment first started, it was, you know, a slow process, but they've been in compliance 99% of the time. With regards to Amtrol, they had a violation in zinc. We gave them a notice of violation. We asked them to resample in the month of October and November and submit and ask them for administrative penalty of $500. With regards to the private lines, Eagle Nest cleaned their line. And that was in good condition. Their pump station needs to be replaced, and they've hired an engineer to redevelop their operations and maintenance manual and to redesign the pump station for that facility. With regards to there is a new owner at 1600 Division Street, and they have hired an engineer to develop a new O&M manual for their complex. And at Bald Hill Realty, construction began this month. With regards to the food services, there were 8 facilities that were inspected in West Warwick and 1 in the town of Coventry. Most of them were in compliance with the exception of the following. Boomerang Roadhouse, and most of these violations you're going to see are all the same. It relates to the grease interceptor was not functioning, and there was no record of cleaning. So a notice of violation was issued and asked them to either repair or replace their grease recovery device. The New England Made Donuts changed ownership. The grease recovery device, when we inspected it, was not functioning at the time of our inspection. So the grease recovery device must be repaired prior to issuing them a permit. Wise Guy Deli, the repair of their grease recovery device requested last month was completed and they would return back to compliance. Fusion Latin and Caribbean Cuisine, a new grease recovery device was ordered but not installed at the time of our inspection. Little Lattes opened without a permit. The owner was contacted and we did send him the information. As far as construction, 929 Providence Street, which is MK Fuel, continues construction and replacement of the sewers. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Jim?
Jim, you said there was an increase of traffic, so which direction do they go? Do they go down towards Natick or do they go
Oh, they go
through the property?
through their property and then across the river, and then they come in where the odors are, but it's not that, we,
No, I'm just wondering that, usually Bradford usually helps with a lot of smells,
they usually do.
But, I'm just wondering if it's because you're increasing the flow in that direction.
No, the real, Josh and I have been going back and forth, and the reason for this. And we've come to the conclusion that where the flow comes in at that point on Water Street, where we've had the problem and repaired it, it's a great deal of turbulence. And what happens is when turbulence occurs within wastewater, the hydrogen sulfide that's in solution comes out of solution. So that's the odors that you're getting. Before, when literally the sewer didn't exist in that area, it was porous, it would just be absorbed through the ground. Now it's nice and tight and confined, so now the hydrogen sulfide is escaping. So Josh and his team have looked at various elements. What we did is we started at Maisie Quinn Pump Station and worked our way down. The only odors are really we wanted to see if there was anything in between there, and nothing is. So we're working on possibly adding some chemicals upstream to at least keep H2S in solution. But that's what's causing, based on what we find. And the staff has been real good at working on, they've worked real hard on that to establish where it is, what's causing it. So once we know what's causing it, we can go back and look for a solution.
Thank you.
Anything about the timing, and I notice at night also.
It's the H2S release. Josh and the odor, and Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong. When he traces the H2S release, it's midnight and then it drops, then comes back up at that point. So there's 2 points in time where the H2S increases and then goes to zero. And I think when it goes to zero, the flows are increased, become more dilute because of all the flow. At midnight, the flow is very low, so you don't have dilution. And it may. But it's strange because, and the odor loggers that they have are really good at tracking this. So it gives us an indication of when it occurred. So we first took that and said, okay, what's happening upstream at that time of day? And
We basically left leapfrog manholes all the way up to Maisie Quinn.
Okay.
And that's where the concentration was. Above Water Street, there was no odor. Below Water Street, there was odor in that line. And like Jim said, where that turbulence, when that water comes down, and hits that turn right there, it churns up because there's so much water going through that line, and that just turns the solution on into.
So you're saying that we benefited from the fact that it was cracked before because it was leaking out, even though that's a bad thing.
But not even that, it was also that the concrete is porous and H2S literally leaches into it. That's probably why it collapsed.
Okay.
It took a long time to do it, but.
there's always pluses and minuses.
There you go. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Financial report, good evening, council.
Hey, Tony.
This is the September financial update. Year-to-date operating and debt expenses for fiscal year 26 through the end of September total $3,336,640, which is 32% of the approved budget. That number includes $2,038,799 for operational expenses and $1,297,841 for our September bond payment. I do want to make you aware the expense amount of $3.3 million you're going to see increase significantly next month as we've completed the East Natick rehabilitation project, which the council approved as one of the projects we could apply through RIB for. We are in the process of closing with RIB that we expect in the near future. When we do close, they will reimburse us $1.65 million for the cost of the project. So you're gonna see the expenses jump next month, but we are getting that money back from the bank once we close. Overtime for the month of September was $11,595, which is 7% of the annual budget. Year-to-date overtime is $32,602, which is 20% of the approved budget, so we're 25% of the year, through the year and under budget on overtime. And we also have a year-to-date salary savings of $28,933. Sludge removal costs through the end of September total $255,222, which for the first time in a long time, I'm happy to report it's under budget at this point through the year. Fiscal year 26 sewer usage and industrial collections through the end of September total $3,275,610, which is 38% of the total billed. Prior year sewer usage collections for the fiscal year totaled $162,449, of which $13,135 is penalty interest. Current fiscal year sewer assessment collections through the end of September were $108,283, which is 47% of the total billed. And our cash and investments through the end of September totaled $3,924,558. And we have interest accrued with Centerville Bank on our CD to be applied at CD maturity date in April of $69,446. And that's my report, Council President.
Any questions for Tony? Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. Resolutions, discussion and action on resolution SC 2025-27, change order for the East Natick Interceptor Rehabilitation Project.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Second, any discussion?
Basically, the East Natick Interceptor is complete. And at the end of any project where unit prices and unit quantities are identified, what we do is we call it a balancing change order. So we zero out the amount due the contractor. So when an order comes, they look at it, they say, okay, you paid them 100%. Here's the contract amount and here's what you paid them. Basically, this is a reduction of unit prices. So it's a reduction of $34,098, which lowers the project cost to $1,387,702. So this is what we call just a balancing change order.
Any questions for Jim?
We'll always take money back.
That's what I say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Public comment.
Public comment, any public comment on the sewer? Josh, what's your son's name?
Killian,
What is it?
Killian.
Gillian, did you learn anything here tonight?
I hope you get ice cream or something for sitting through this, okay?
No other further public comment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good night. We'll move on to the council agenda.
Have a good evening.